symbol of the 21st century. Hublot's comparison between Jungkook and Big Bang divides opinion. When Swiss luxury watchmaker Hublot officially named Jungkook as its new global ambassador on the 12th of February 2026, the partnership immediately drew global attention. However, it was a particular remark from CEO Julien Torneri that sparked unexpected debate online. At the Seoul launch event, Jungkook appeared wearing the Big Bang original Unico King Gold ceramic, one of the brand's flagship models. While explaining the choice, Torneri stated that the Big Bang was Hublot's first iconic watch of the 21st century, and that Jungkook is also a symbol of the 21st century. The comparison was clearly designed to position both the timepiece and the artist within the same narrative of modern influence, innovation, and cultural relevance. From a branding standpoint, the statement aligns with Hublot's identity. The Big Bang collection marked a major turning point for the company in the early 2000s, reinforcing its art of fusion philosophy by combining unexpected materials and bold design. By linking Jungkook to that legacy, Hublot effectively framed him not just as a celebrity ambassador, but as a figure who embodies the spirit of the contemporary era, creative, boundary-breaking, and globally connected. Torneri has emphasized that emotion is central to the brand's strategy. In recent interviews, he explained that sports, art, and music are the strongest emotional drivers in modern society. While Hublot has previously collaborated with high-profile athletes such as Usain Bolt, Kylian Mbappé, and Novak Djokovic, the decision to choose Jungkook signals a deliberate pivot toward music's cultural power, particularly the global influence of Korean pop. Still, not everyone embraced the phrasing. Some netizens describe the comparison as overly grand or bombastic, arguing that calling any individual a symbol of the 21st century risks sounding hyperbolic. While acknowledging Jungkook's global impact as a member of BTS and as a successful solo artist, critics suggested that such language feels more like luxury marketing amplification than cultural consensus. The tension lies in interpretation. In corporate language, symbol often functions as metaphor and aspirational framing device meant to elevate brand storytelling. In public discourse, however, the word can carry heavier historical weight, implying near universal representation of an era. For some observers, that distinction matters. Yet the debate itself may underscore Jungkook's scale of influence. Comparisons of this magnitude do not emerge around ordinary ambassadors. Whether one views the statement as visionary branding or excessive praise, it reflects how powerfully Jungkook's image intersects with contemporary global culture. Ultimately, Hublot's message was less about literal historical categorization and more about alignment. The Big Bang collection reshaped the brand's trajectory in the early 21st century. Jungkook, through music and global fandom, has undeniably shaped conversations about youth culture, digital-era stardom, and cross-border influence. Whether he is truly a symbol of the 21st century may remain subjective, but the fact that the comparison feels plausible enough to debate speaks volumes about the scale of his presence in today's cultural landscape. What makes the conversation even more interesting is how it reflects a larger shift in how cultural influence is defined in the 21st century. In previous eras, symbols of a century were often political leaders, inventors, or revolutionary thinkers whose impact reshaped global systems. In today's hyper-connected digital world, however, cultural power operates differently. Influence travels through streaming platforms, social media ecosystems, fandom networks, and global brand collaborations. Visibility is instantaneous. Reach is borderless. Emotional connection can be quantified in real time. Within that framework, Jungkook's position becomes harder to dismiss. As a member of BTS, he has contributed to redefining the global perception of Korean music. As a solo artist, he has dominated international charts and streaming platforms, proving that language is no longer a barrier to mainstream Western success. His releases have topped rankings across the United States, Europe, and Asia, reinforcing the idea that 21st century stardom is built on digital virality and global simultaneity rather than geographic limitation. From Hublot's perspective, this is precisely what makes the comparison strategically powerful. The Big Bang collection symbolized a new era for Hublot: bold design, unconventional material fusion, and a break from conservative watchmaking traditions. Jungkook similarly represents a generation of artists who blurred boundaries between East and West, mainstream and niche, traditional pop structure and digital era experimentation. In that sense, Tornara's statement reads less like historical exaggeration and more like narrative symmetry. Still, skepticism remains understandable. Cultural symbolism typically requires long-term retrospective evaluation. It is often easier to label someone an icon after decades of impact rather than in the midst of their career. Critics argue that time, not marketing language, ultimately determines who represents an era. But luxury branding rarely waits for history to settle. Luxury operates on anticipation. It projects permanence in the present. By aligning Jungkook with the concept of a 21st century symbol, Hublot positions itself not just alongside a popular artist, but alongside the future-facing identity he represents: youth-driven, globally synchronized, emotionally resonant. There is also a business dimension to consider. Tornare openly acknowledged Jungkook's predominantly female fan base and the brand's intention to expand further into women's high-complication watch models later this year. The ambassador choice is not merely aesthetic, it is strategic groundwork for demographic evolution. Connecting watchmaking craftsmanship with youth culture through a globally recognized musician is a calculated bridge between tradition and contemporary aspiration. Ironically, the backlash may have amplified the campaign's effectiveness. Debate sustains visibility. Controversial phrasing extends conversation cycles. The question, is it too much? Keeps the brand and ambassadors circulating in public discourse far longer than a neutral announcement would have. In the end, whether Jungkook is objectively a symbol of the 21st century may remain open to interpretation. What is not open to interpretation is his measurable influence across music, fashion, digital culture, and global branding. Perhaps the more revealing takeaway is this. The comparison felt bold because the scale of his presence is bold. And in a century defined by rapid change, digital acceleration, and cross-cultural fusion, boldness itself may be the defining trait of its most visible figures. Beyond branding and debate, the statement also reveals something about how identity is constructed in the modern era. The 21st century is not defined by a single ideology, region, or medium. It is defined by convergence of technology and art, of local culture and global platforms, of individuality and collective fandom. In that environment, symbolic figures are no longer chosen solely by institutions or historians. They are elevated through networks, engagement, and sustained relevance. Jungkook's rise fits that pattern precisely. He grew up in front of a global audience. His evolution from teenage trainee to international solo star unfolded in real time across live streams, digital content, and global tours. Millions did not simply observe his career, they participated in it. They streamed, voted, translated, promoted, defended, and celebrated alongside him. That participatory dynamic is deeply 21st century. It blurs the line between creator and consumer.